James is on the line first in Arizona. You're on Free Talk Live, James.
Hi, Darryl.
Hello.
When you go on your bus tour for Liberty, I sure hope you do come to Phoenix, by the way. But if and when you do go on your road trip, when people ask you, where do you live, what are you going to say?
Well, I will be living in the not a bus when I do take the trip between March and June. I'm not sure what you're getting at.
You're not going to say New Hampshire.
Well, I'm currently domiciled in New Hampshire.
Okay, because, I just want to get this straight, because you spent an entire hour about a trial you're taking the state to trial of New Hampshire, that is.
No, they took me to court.
Well, they're accusing you of something of living in New Hampshire and not paying your car registration and buying a license, which would cost you, with analogous me, a whopping about $175, and the license will be good. My license, just like yours, is good till it may as well be the next century, because it's good forever, and it's almost good for indefinite. And it cost me $25. It cost me $150 to register my ride. So you're going to you're going to waste the good people of Keene's taxes with a judge that has to be paid, and a bailiff, and all those buildings that you're going to go in have to be paid for, because you're refusing to. You're a minister, by the way, so you should know that you should not bear a false witness and just be straight up with a judge. Yeah, Your Honor, I live in Keene, and I'll give you the $150. Can I go home now? Why can't you just do that?
There's a difference between being an inhabitant and a resident. They are alleging that I am a resident, which I am not. I do not claim residency.
And you're skirting taxes, and somebody narked on you. I think that's unitless, by the way, but maybe somebody's upset that they know that you've been living in Keene for a long time now, and you're benefiting from other people's taxes for a lot of things that you drive on, like called roads.
Yeah, I purchase fuel.
Leave the judge and the bailiff and everybody else alone, and just pay your money.
I purchase fuel, and that goes towards paving the roads.
James, why don't you kiss that boot a little bit more? Thanks for the call. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Look, they are the ones wasting your time, Darryl. The government, judge, the cops, the prosecutors. You're not wasting their time. They're the ones who came after you with a threat. They told you, you will come to our courtroom, or we'll have you kidnapped, and we'll force you to come to the courtroom.
Right.
That's what happens whenever you get an arraignment. You get a complaint from a police officer with an arraignment date on it. There's an implied or indirect threat that says
either you give us money, we're extorting money from you, or you can come beg us to not extort money from you.
You can go to a trial where you'll have a very small chance of having some sort of success in court and not have to pay the fine or pay as much of the fine ultimately. And that's not your fault, Darryl. It's not. You are not to be blamed for wasting the government's time or the other taxpayers' time. If the government goons around here in Keene, New Hampshire wanted to have less time wasted, they could just stop arresting activists.
And they know that activists will take them to court.
Sure.
They know that.
Of course, and
because
that's part
we
of the point.
stand out in front of the court.
That's part of what they're doing.
Handing out literature that says, "Don't take their pleas."
That's exactly what they're doing, Darryl. They want to make an example out of you. They want to turn you and me into examples for the other activists. Like, look, this is what happens when you challenge the state. This is what we will do to you. This is what we will bring upon you. It shall be no mercy. And they don't want people to come here. They think that if they crack down on people like you and me, that's going to dissuade people from coming here. They are very scared of the idea of you, the listener who cares about freedom, not James, but you, the listener who cares about freedom, coming to New Hampshire and getting active, because they know that right now it's just a few of us that are really kind of, a wrench in the system, in the works of the system. But if we have a bunch of people who are challenging parking tickets and stupid charges like you were, challenging, then that's just going to load up the system with undesirable cases. And people who are bootlickers like James sometimes will blame us for it. It's happened for years.
Right.
There was a time when the trespassive 12 were arrested at the jail, and they had to call in cops from all around the area. They brought in all the Keene police who were on duty. They brought in the Swansea cop. They brought in the Marlborough cop. They brought in one of the state police. They brought in, I think, a couple of the sheriffs and some guards from the jail. They had 13 members of the police from various different jurisdictions there to arrest 12 individuals. And so they had to bring in all they could to outnumber us because numbers are very, very important. They wouldn't have been able to do that if we had 50 people instead of 12.
Right.
But what happened was when we got arrested, there was some news about the arrest later on, and in that news story, the newspaper was reporting it as though, look what these darn Free Staters did. They made it so our police were off the streets. There was an accident in Keene, and they had to call in one of the other Marlborough cops, which is the town just to the east of Keene. They had to call in one of the Marlborough cops because the activists made the police all come out to the jail. They all just had to come out to the jail to deal with these activists who were doing what? We walked around the jail a couple times and were in the parking lot getting ready to leave when the Keene police showed up and immediately arrested us without a warning. They didn't even warn us to leave. They just arrested us right away. So, the cops just had to go out and do that. You guys forced their hand. No, they could have just simply left us alone, and we would have left the jail at that point.
And I am kind of curious what James meant when he said, I hope you do come to Phoenix. I wonder if that was some sort of, passive-aggressive threat.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he wants your
autograph.
autograph.
Violence against me if I do wind up making it to Phoenix.
Maybe he just wants to give you a hug. You don't know. Maybe he's a really nice guy in person. Maybe
I don't think so.
Maybe James is just a character. Maybe James in Arizona is a character like Jimmy in Arizona. Maybe they're the same person.
I don't know.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.